My name is Chelsea Starley. I am actually the Coface Global Solutions Business Information Executive here in the Business Information Department. And business information is different. Many people know Coface as the trade credit insurer, one of the top 3 in the whole world internationally. But what they don't know is that we have business information, which is where we offer our insights as basically underwriting as a service. So scores, credit opinions, business reports, everything that we use to underwrite our own account receivables, we now sell separately to offer to the marketplace. Yeah, that's a really great question. We obviously see a lot of need in the market as we serve a lot of the folks that need private and international information. The region specifically that I see don't have a great information space is the Latin American region. We definitely have a lot of people that are needing more insights in the Latin American region. As we know, there's not a lot of financials, there's not a lot of great data, there's a lot of fraud in that space. And so having the ability to have someone look at the full picture and the overall risk and predicting that risk for those regions is important. And then also the Asian, specifically the Asian markets are also an area that I've noticed a lot of needs for. So we continue to acquire companies like Cedar Rose out of the Middle East and Africa to add to our databases. And we acquire all these information providers that can provide those insights that we can gather for those international markets. That's a great point. We had a great panel this week for sure on the macroeconomic and geopolitical climate. What I'm noticing a lot about our customers and the market itself is that there's a lot of uncertainty, as we know. And is it whether or not they should, be prepared to protect themselves? And so how do they protect themselves? Well, knowing those risks from a geopolitical and economic standpoint isn't always easy. So being part of a trade credit insurance provider, we have a lot of great information globally. We're in 200 different countries. And so having the insights on the country risks and the sector risks and how are these, risks that are happening in the conflicts all over the world affecting, at the end of the day, the supply chain. So the supply chain is a big area of focus for our customers because obviously, if there's any impact into their supplier base, to be able to replace that supplier base isn't so easy. So that's a big area of focus that I'm seeing it shift. It used to be all on the creditors, the obligors, but I'm definitely noticing an increase in need to vet and determine risk of their suppliers. So that's an area of focus that I'm seeing a lot these days. But also, I think because of the uncertainty, folks realize that they, need to become more efficient because there's too much information, too much access to information that they have a hard time deciphering, what's true, what's not, what's real risk, and do we have the time to sift through the internet and to go through news stories and go through financials and reports, etc. So that's where we can come in and say, we've done that for you. We have the unique insights that we have being tied to the trade credit insurance space. So we can pull payment information, and our experience with other policyholders has really given us a lot of unique insight on top of the information that we've invested in at Coface. So it's an area where we can really help with the areas of uncertainty today. That's where we can really bring in our strength for the private and international market. Great question. So, generally the market feels pretty good about their credit management procedures today. They feel like their credit policies are pretty strong. So especially with the larger enterprises, they've got a really great, strong base. The problem is they're still missing pieces of information and that efficiency model. So the areas that we can really help in is those private sector and the international sector. Public information is publicly available, so that doesn't seem to be as much of a focal point. But those small mid-market companies, those non-investment grade, as we've heard them speak about all week, that's not the concern. They can get the capital on that. What they can't get the capital on is those mid-market guys. Well, we have the insights on all of the small companies. If we don't have the insights, we go get it, which is also another big added value. So it's not just a matter of, do you have this information or not? It's, we'll go get it for you. Because again, we underwrite that risk as if it's our own portfolio. We share that risk with our customers. But then in addition, the international insights that we have, being in Europe. We're based in France. We're headquartered in France. We have that experience from 76 years of insight from a global perspective. We're in 200 different countries. And as I mentioned, we do have a lot of information providers that we've partnered with. I have had such a great time. I had the pleasure of moderating the economic and geopolitical panel. It was interesting for me to hear what may potentially happen. Of course, with no crystal ball, it's certainly a hard one to understand of what will happen in the next year. But I think the between Steve Rasciuto and Robert Sachin and Citigroup, I think we've realized that we're somewhere in the middle. Is there going to be a recession? Is there not going to be a recession? The tariffs, it seems to be, we're calming down. So I think that's actually positive news, is that's a big thing that's affecting our business and our customers. So I really gained a lot about that. But then on top of it, I think that what I really am hearing from the folks in the room is that, listen, we don't have a lot of great insight into the mid-market. We're having a hard time getting the capital for that. And what can we do to try to capture a better insight on that? So that's been really interesting for me too. But overall, I think it's been learning the climate of the room and the pain points. And it seems like Latin America has a big focus as well. I know that we're here in Miami, so that's also a part of the focus point of the group here is Latin America. So it's been a great event. I've been excited to be here.